before the Lord ascended into heaven, he gave final instruction to the disciples. Go into the whole world and proclaim the gospel to every creature. My dear sisters and brothers, by virtue of our baptism, we are also given that instruction. Go into the whole world and proclaim the good news. Every Christian is a missionary. Every baptized person is a proclaimer of the gospel. But there is one problem with that. The how. How do we proclaim the gospel? The Lord did not specify. The Lord did not give the methodology. Just proclaim. But how? And so, Saint Mark, whose feast we celebrate today, was inspired to proclaim the gospel by writing the gospel, by writing down the gospel. It was an important job. Why? Because people forget. We forget. Kaya nga kuminsan, hindi ba, nagsusulat kayo ano ang mga bibilhin ninyo sa supermarket? Para pagpunta nyo sa supermarket, hindi nyo makalimutan yung mga dapat nyong bilhin. Kaya nga meron tayong mga post-it sa refrigerator, sa may pintuan, to remind ourselves, ito yung dapat kong gawin. So, Mark put down in writing the gospel so that we may not forget. That's how he proclaimed the gospel, by writing it down. But we are not all writers of the gospel. How can we proclaim the gospel? The other way is by praying. Look at the life of Saint Teresa of the Child Jesus, whose relics visited us recently. She never left the monastery and became a missionary. She never left Europe, but she is considered patroness of the missions. Imagine, isang taong hindi naging misyonero o misyonera, pero ngayon ay patrona ng mga misyonero at misyonera. How did she do that? She did it by praying for all missionaries, by praying for missions, so that those who will hear the gospel may be converted. That we can do. We may not be writers of the gospel like Mark, but we can pray. Your prayers should not only be limited to your own particular intentions. Your prayers should not only be limited to your needs. Kaya nga meron po tayong prayers of the faithful Meron tayong general intercession after the homily. Nang sa ganon, maipaalaala sa atin na ang dapat nating ipagdasal ay hindi lamang yung ating mga sariling pangangailangan, kundi yung pangangailangan ng simbahan, ng mundo, ng ibang tao, ng misyon. Pray. What else? How else can we proclaim the gospel? We can proclaim the gospel not only with our lips, but also with our lives. Ayun ang mas mahalaga. Yung buhay ko, yung buhay natin, ay maging isang pagpapahayag ng mabuting balita. Yung matinong buhay natin, yung maayos nating buhay, yung magandang buhay natin, ay maging isang pagpapahayag ng mabuting balita. You know, one time, I was talking with a friend who is a priest. And we were talking about another priest. Ganyan naman no? Ang mga pare kapag nagkasama-sama, pinag-uusapan din yung ibang pare. So we were talking about another priest who met a freak accident in the convent, in his convent. Luckily, he survived. But he survived, yes, but no longer as, mobile as before, as useful as before. And then I said to my friend priest, Misa, naisip ko, sana kinuha na lang siya ng Diyos kaysa sa ganun ang kanyang kalagayan. And then he said something that struck me. Baka yon ang kanyang pamamaraan ng priesthood. Baka yun ang kanyang pamamaraan ng pagsasabuhay ng kanyang priesthood. I was struck by that. That priesthood is not only celebrated with Mass, not only celebrated with the sacraments, it can be celebrated also by your sickness. Kaya yung mga matatandang pari na halos hindi na makalakad, hindi naman natatapos ang kanilang pagkapari Dahil matanda na sila, retired na sila, pari pa rin sila. Kaya lang, iba na yung pagpapahayag ng kanilang pagkapari. They are priests in the midst of their sickness. They are priests in the midst of their being useless. In quotation mark. We proclaim the gospel not only with our lips, but with our lives. Amen.